Hello everyone, my name is Cherie, and this is my yearly wrap-up video where I go over all the media I consumed in 2025, plus projects and goals for 2026. All right, let's dive in, starting with books. I read 7 books in 2025, which was less than last year, but oh well. 1 was a play, 3 were nonfiction, and 3 were fiction. My 2 favorite books were Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir and Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I read 33 screenplays in 2025. That's why I didn't read so many books. 28 were produced and 5 were unproduced. Most were past winners for the Best Original Screenplay Oscar, a list I'm slowly chipping away at. My favorites were Dead Poets Society, Rain Man, and Thelma and Louise, all Oscar winners, Double Indemnity, Some Like It Hot, and Sunset Boulevard, all Billy Wilder screenplays, and Heretic, I Saw the TV Glow, and A Real Pain, all from films released in 2024. I watched 10 seasons worth of series, Big Little Lies Season 2, Decalogue, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, Only Murders in the Building Seasons 4 and 5, Squid Game Seasons 2 and 3, Survivors Season 1 and 2, and Treme Season 2. My favorite series were Only Murders, Squid Game, and Survivors. Now, movies, starting with the WTF films. These were all crazy, weird, jaw-dropping films. Of the bunch, I really enjoyed The Beast, a French film from 2023, and Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors, a Soviet-era Ukrainian film from 1965. I'd give either of those two a rewatch. Now, my half-star watches. These were both from the Harvard PhD narrative film list that I was completing last year. Shot in Tango, a 7.5-hour Hungarian film from 1994, directed by Béla Tarr, and Weekend, a French film from 1967, directed by Jean-Luc Godard. I absolutely hated these movies and never want to see them again. Moving on to my favorite first-time watches. Now, I watched a lot of movies in 2025. We'll get to that later. But because of that, I had to divide my favorites into groups. The first group is films that were actually released in 2025. Just know that I only saw a total of 20 films from 2025, but these are the ones I enjoyed most. Eddington, The Gorge, One Battle After Another, Materialists, Sinners, and Weapons. My favorite animated films were The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, Castle in the Sky, Grave of the Fireflies, Kiki's Delivery Service, Robot Dreams, Song of the Sea, and Tokyo Godfathers. Favorite first-time watches: horror. 30 Days of Night, The Call of Cthulhu, Eden Lake, The Frighteners, Heretic, I Walked with a Zombie, Milk and Cereal, Pin, Saloom, and Totally Killer. Now, onto the Harvard list. I had 24 favorite first-time watches, which will take too long if I name them all. So if you're really interested, you can pause the video to check out all the titles before continuing on. And finally, all my other favorite first-time watches. There are 23. Again, you can pause the video to peruse the titles if you're so inclined. But let's move on to my top 15. Now, these weren't necessarily my top rated. There are a few on the previous list that I consider masterpieces, but I would never want to watch again. So these are the movies that I can see myself owning on physical media because I know I want to rewatch them. Starting with number 15. Last Year at Marienbad. Empty salons, corridors, doors. In the halls of a strange and opulent hotel, a man approaches a woman and claims that they previously had an affair. She insists that they have never met. Last year, Marienbad was nominated for a Best Original Screenplay Oscar in 1963 and stars the ever-radiant Delphine Seyrig. Number 14. Tokyo Godfathers. On Christmas Eve, 3 homeless people living on the streets of Tokyo discover a newborn baby among the trash and set out to find its parents. Tokyo Godfathers is both a heartwarming and heartbreaking holiday adventure film. Number 13. Once Upon a Time in the West. A classic spaghetti western from 1968. A mysterious harmonica player teams up with a notorious desperado to protect a young widow's land from a ruthless assassin. Number 12. Perfect Days. When director Wim Wenders was asked to make a documentary about new toilet art installations in Tokyo, he became so fascinated by them that he decided to make a narrative feature instead. A public toilet cleaner interacts with a variety of strangers throughout his day. Number 11. Wajda. The first film ever shot entirely in Saudi Arabia. A rebellious 10-year-old girl dreams of owning a green bicycle, but must defy strict traditions and find creative ways to earn the money in a society where girls riding bikes is forbidden. Number 10. Song of the Sea. Based on the legend of the Selkies. An Irish boy discovers that his mute sister is actually a Selkie who must find her voice in order to fight a Celtic goddess. This is the second film in the animated Irish folklore trilogy. Number 9. Raise the Red Lantern. After her father's death, a 19-year-old is forced to become the 4th wife of a wealthy man and compete with his other wives for privileges. Great sound design, gorgeous cinematography. Number 8. Kiki's Delivery Service. A young witch in training moves to a seaside town with her talking cat, where she sets up a flying courier service. But when insecurity causes her to lose her magic abilities, she must overcome her self-doubt to get her powers back. Kiki's Delivery Service is a Studio Ghibli masterpiece. Number 7. Joint Security Area. Following a deadly shooting in the Korean Demilitarized Zone, a neutral investigator must unravel conflicting stories from the North and South Korean soldiers who were present. This film made me realize that I need to dive deeper into director Park Chan-wook's filmography. Number 6. Castle in the Sky. An orphan boy and a girl with a magic crystal race against pirates and foreign agents in search of a legendary floating castle. An environmental tale that's paced like an Indiana Jones adventure. Number 5. I Walked with a Zombie. A Canadian nurse travels to the Caribbean to care for the catatonic wife of a sugar plantation manager. While there, she uncovers secrets of voodoo, colonialism, and madness. A West Indies-based Jane Eyre. Number 4. The Young Girls of Rochefort. A 1967 musical comedy written and directed by Jacques Demy. Twin sisters in a small French town dream of escaping to Paris for love and fame. Their plans intersect with a traveling fair and a handsome American musician, leading to a joyful, pastel-hued musical of missed connections and ideal romance. Number 3. One Battle After Another. After an old nemesis kidnaps his daughter, a washed-up revolutionary must reunite with his ex-comrades in order to save her. Watching One Battle After Another was the most fun I had at the cinema in 2025. Number 2. Man of Marble. A Polish film student investigates the disappearance of a 1950s propaganda hero until the authorities intervene in her film's production. Man of Marble is a Citizen Kane-styled story of government corruption that's as relevant today as it was in 1977. And number 1, Weapons. One night, 17 children from the same class run away from home at the exact same time. The story structure of Weapons is part of the reason it's so fun. The movie's divided into chapters, each of which follows a different character as they're trying to solve the mystery of the missing children. I saw it twice in the theater, which is why it's number one. And here's the summary slide. Only 2 of these were actually released in 2025. 4 are from Japan, 3 are from the US, 2 are from France, and then there's 1 each from China, Ireland, Italy, Poland, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea. Quite an international list. I saw a total of 545 movies. 37 were shorts, 508 were features, 510 were new to me, 35 were rewatches, and I watched 2 films 2 times in 2025. Those were I Walked with a Zombie and Weapons. And this is how I watched movies in 2025. I went to the cinema 20 times, I watched 61 DVDs, and I used 25 different streaming sites. I also made a dent in my global cinema project, where I'm trying to watch a narrative feature from every country in the world. I checked off 31 more countries. 13 were from Africa, 7 from Asia, 7 from Central America, 3 from Europe, and 1 from Oceania. I have 90 more countries to go. Next up, recaps that were emailed to me. I received yearly recaps from Fandango, Letterboxd, and YouTube, so I thought I'd share them here. Starting with Fandango. They've labeled me a cinema connoisseur. In 2025, I rented 32 movies. Disregard all the screenshots here, I did not rent Minecraft. My favorite genre was drama. My favorite day to shop for movies on Fandango was Thursday, and I've spent 8 days, 18 hours, and 31 minutes streaming movies. I can't believe that was in all of 2025. Maybe it's cumulative? Next up, YouTube. They put together a nice little 3-minute summary set to music, so here goes. In case you were wondering, I was researching psychics for a potential screenplay idea, which is why a few popped up in the recap. Now, on to Letterboxd. This is the big one. So Letterboxd sent me a quick recap in an email, but I want to go to my actual Letterboxd page and go to stats for 2025. And 2025, Cherie's year in film. All right. So as we roll down, these were my highest rated films that came out in 2025. You can see by the week I was watching a lot of films the second week in January. I think I was prepping for the Oscar announcements then. And my milestones were first film watch, Ashes and Diamonds, 50th, The Straight Story, 100th, Elle, 150th, Scream, 200th, Smile 2, 250th, Pulse. The 300th was War and Peace. The 350th was Wedding in Galilee. The 400th was Carmen. The 450th was The Sweet Hereafter, and the 500th was Carmilla. And yes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those were all from the Harvard list. Oh, and then my last film watched was The Fantastic Four. And then most watched, because like I said in my recap I just did, I Walked with a Zombie and Weapons twice. And I think that's why they're saying I logged 547 movies, but I said that I saw 545 because I saw those two twice. Genres, countries, and languages. Drama, USA, and English. I've watched a lot of these Letterboxd recaps, and everyone always has the top same thing: drama, USA, and English. Now, one of the people I subscribed to was actually trying not to have USA in the first place. He's Canadian. He sees what's going on right now. He doesn't want to support US films. So even though he had drama and English in there, his first place, I believe, was France. So that was awesome. Now, let's see. I had 241 films from the USA and 107 from France. So that's still not even half. But I also had, UK, Germany, Italy, Japan, Canada, Spain, USSR, and Switzerland. English, and then French, and then Japanese, and then no spoken language, because I was watching a lot of silent films from the Harvard list, and just a lot of some of the animation I was watching were considered silent films. Second, after drama is comedy. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. And then horror, which makes sense because I did the horror challenge, and I'm still trying to write my horror script, Highway 17. And then thriller, romance, mystery, sci-fi, fantasy, animation, crime. All right, so my themes and nano genres. Humanity and the world around us. Yeah, that sounds like me. And then horror, the undead, and monster classics. Moving relationship stories. I feel like that's probably the Harvard stuff. And then terrifying, haunted, and supernatural horror. Yes. All right, and then over here, nano genres. Feelings, intellectual, philosophical. Emotional, humanity, poetic. Poetic vision, symbolism. Wow, that does not sound like me. Oh, look, these are kind of evenly spread though. Like 17 and then 14, 13, 13, 13, 12, 12. Okay. So yeah, I guess I do a good assortment. All right, here's the breakdown. I saw 522 films, which were not from 2025. And then it says I saw 25 films from 2025. Okay, yes. So if I saw 20 in the movie theaters, that must mean that I saw 5 that were on streaming platforms that came out in 2025. So that's, yeah, I don't know. Make of that what you will. All right. And then rewatches versus first times. And this is good. 511 first time watches and 36 rewatches. All right. It said I reviewed 540 and I did not review 7. I can't remember why. I know that I do not rate documentaries or short films. So I don't give those, star ratings. But I'm not sure about, I tried to review everything, but I don't know. There was a reason. There must have been a reason. I saw 150 movies from my watch list, and then I just recently added more. So, yeah, I have quite a few still to go through. Let's see. And then, yeah, straight down the middle, 3 stars. I don't really, this is a great bell curve. I don't give a lot of, 5 stars and stuff. So, yeah, there we go. Let's see what I did give a 5 star to, though. Let's see. The Vanishing, Pig, Perfect Days, and The Substance. Those were all 5 star films. All right, and then cast. Okay, so I watched the most films with Pedro Pascal, and then Jeff Goldblum. That was probably because of the Wicked stuff. Delphine Seyrig, she was in a lot of French films. Simon McBurney, I don't know who that is. The Golden Compass, Wolfwalkers, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Nosferatu. Wow. Okay, Simon. Yay. And Li Kang Sheng. Okay, I believe he was in a bunch of, let's see, Vive l'Amour, The Hole, Goodbye Dragon Inn, and The River. Yeah, okay, these were all, oh shoot, what country is that? Ah, these were from Taiwan. These were from Taiwan, and I believe they were all from the same director. Okay, let's see. I won't go over the rest. You can look at those. Okay, directors. Most watched. Billy Wilder, yes. I'm trying to be a Billy Wilder completionist because he's awesome. Jean-Luc Godard. You know what? I just watched Breathless, and I thought I'd seen it before. So I thought it was a rewatch. But as I was watching it, I didn't remember any of it. And I did not like the story. I really did not like it. He did one, Pierrot Le Fou, which I believe last year was one of my favorites, but yeah, not this year. I don't have favorites from him. John M. Chu, yeah, there we go, because of the Wicked stuff, and then I think I watched one of his short films. Michael Haneke, okay, he's great, loved him. That's because he was on the Harvard list. And Tsai Ming Liang, I think that's the Taiwanese director that had that other guy, Li Kang-cheng, in his movies. All right, and the crew and stuff, I don't think people care about these so much. Sorry. My most liked review was for Petulia, which was The Swingin' 60s in San Francisco. A beautiful, kooky girl, a divorced surgeon who falls for her, and a horrific story that unfolds like a mystery. 3 people liked it. I don't have a lot of people following me. Highs and lows. Highest average I gave to Decalogue. Lowest average to Amelia Perez. Most popular is The Substance. Most obscure was Dalitso. And that was for the trying to watch a movie from every country. The newest was Smooth Operator, a short film by Enoch Lai. Sorry, Enoch, if I'm pronouncing your last name incorrectly. He's someone I subscribe to on YouTube. And the oldest was Phantasmagory, an animated film. The longest was Decalogue, which was actually a series. Quite frankly, it wasn't a movie, but, whatever. And then the shortest was the animated. And then these are all the films I watched. Lots of films. There's more, but I won't go into it. Here's what I like. The world map. So I did get a lot of the African countries out of the way. Saw some South American, which I had already seen a bunch of those last year, as I'm chipping away at my global country list. Let's see, this is Russia, China, Kazakhstan, India, Australia, New Zealand. I watched 2 from New Zealand. Wow. Let's see, the one from Saudi Arabia. Iran, I watched 8 films from. Turkey, 3. Let's see, France, yeah, we did that one. Germany, 45. Finland 5, wow, Sweden 9, Norway 2, Ireland 7. Wow. So I love this map because also, let's say for instance, what is this? Mongolia. Okay, I don't think I've watched one from Mongolia. So I click on there and then it takes me to all the movies made in Mongolia. So these are the ones I can try to find. Now, for me in particular, I'm trying to watch ones that were only made in the country, not co-productions. So if you go to details here, you see like this one was a co-production from Belgium, Germany, Mongolia, and Netherlands. And I'm trying to watch ones that were just from their one country because I feel like it will be devoid of outside influences. You know, because like maybe Belgium and Germany and Netherlands, you know, kind of were like tweaking the narrative a little or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I try to do. All right, so that's it for my Letterboxd Wrapped. Let's move on to completed projects. After a year and a half and 242 movies, I finally finished the Harvard PhD Narrative Film List. I'll take my PhD now, thank you. I also completed a 52-week movie challenge and a 52-week horror movie challenge. And then finally, I completed a new screenplay, Project Santa Cruz, and this is going to replace the 99% as my first independent directorial debut feature. It's no budget and a much better start than starting with the 99%, which is a kind of more of a mid-budget film. So I'll do Project Santa Cruz, the 99%, and then Highway 17, and I will have my Santa Cruz trilogy. Finally, goals for 2026. I have a new 52-week movie challenge book, a little bigger than all the other ones. I also want to finally finish the 50 greatest directors of all time. I've got about 15 more to go. I want to read all the Best Original Screenplay Oscar winners. I want to watch all the Best International Oscar-winning pictures. I want to sell my Dumpster Donna screenplay still. And I want to have Project Santa Cruz make its debut at the Santa Cruz Film Festival in October. So that was my year. Those are my goals. Thank you for joining me in this video, and I will see you next time.